Alright, hey, yo, what's going on, all my gamers, all my reaction gamers chat? I just want to say a quick shout out to everybody because we hit 700 subs, chat. We're only 300 away from 1,000, which would be pretty pog. Also, if you guys want to join the Discord, you guys can. It's in the description. You guys can send me videos and talk to me because I'm in there a lot. I'm always typing in there because I'm lonely. Anyways, chat. Localizers proudly censor problematic Japanese media. Now he's fired. I feel strongly about this, right? You know, there's not many jobs where I'm like, yeah, AI should replace them. And even now, I still wouldn't want people to be replaced by AI, but there's some people where you just give them all the chances in the world and they just don't get it. So you know what? The chips fall where they may. I'm not gonna cry over people who just want to ruin media. So let's just watch this.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So when it comes to the localization scene of Japanese media, whether it's anime, video games, or manga, a lot of related parties are currently finding out. They're finding out that a lot of the localization controversies involving the English publications of these products are having negative effects. And we're going to be looking at the most recent party to find out, and that is Square Enix, who has done a major round of layoffs targeting specifically their overseas structure. In fact, they've gone out and even had their Western chief publishing officer resign. And you can see in his own description of what he's doing, he said that he works closely with Japan as a senior leader of Western publishing business, interact daily with CEO and leadership team in Japan to illustrate needs and challenges in Western markets and to propose solutions. And
that alone, I already hate that, right? Because it's like, when you ask someone about that, you kind of want someone to be, I feel like you would want someone to be unbiased, right? You want someone to not have something that they want to push, and if they ask you, they give you like the right answers, right? This feels like if someone, like if I had to translate for someone, right, and they're talking to me in Spanish, I have to translate for somebody, like say, I don't know, like say my boss or something. This is just an example, right? It's probably wouldn't happen. And I'm giving them all the wrong information, and like it costs us like a contract or something, like. And it's just because I want to screw him over in some way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to get the right person for the job. Not just a skilled person, but, like, someone who you know is not just going to put something in there that shouldn't be in there. And it's just like, we just want a one-to-one direct, right? Let's get a one-to-one direct translation and just see where that takes us. Let's try that for a while. You know what I'm saying? Let's not have the meaning of sources completely changed. You know? Let's see where that takes us for a sec.
We'll look at this later, but there's a lot of examples of Square Enix basically saying they want to prioritize the needs and the sensitivities of the Western market. And
I think that's a terrible idea because we go, or I say obviously we, like weebs, we go to Japanese media because it has a certain thing that we like about it, right? If I didn't want to watch an anime, or if I watch an anime and it's just basically something I could watch in English, why did I go to Japan? Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I could just play a game, like, hold on, I'm trying to think of, because I haven't really played. If I wanted to play Uma Musume and they gave me something terrible, like, what is it? Veilguard. Well, why did I go to like try to play a Japanese game if you're just gonna give me something like Veilguard? I know it's kind of hard, and I'm trying to like, get this. I'm trying to let you see what I'm saying. But it's like, I don't need to go to you for my stuff. I want to go for you for your stuff.
A big focus for them the last year or two, and it's, well, not been working out. Now, the localization scene...
Oh, my God. This was like around the time that I wasn't making videos on this channel, but this is always such a thing. This is something that just bothered me so much because Jamie Marquis tripled and quadrupled down and saying, "I'm just a funny woman." It's like, you're not that funny, and this was terrible. Like, I don't understand. Why would you do this? I don't. What was even the point, bro? It's like, I don't know. Which one's, here we go, the Funimation dub. What are you wearing that? Oh, those pesky patriarchal societal demands. Who talks like that? I actually, I don't want to ask that. This is something I know I was doing this when it came to talking about that Shoe on Head video where they're talking about like the Gunner books. But I genuinely want to know who talks like this. I don't think people talk like this. Like Lukoa in her original one, right? Everyone was always saying something to me, so I tried toning down the exposure. How is it? That sounds like a real sentence someone has said. Those pesky patriarchal societal demands sounds like it's never been said outside of this one instance. Like who? Like legitimately, bro, who talks like that? Plus, I love Lukoa. She got huge honkers.
When it comes to Japanese media, like I said, anime, manga, or video games has been a disaster for a very long time. The English localizations are terrible in many, many such cases. Now, this is not coming from Square Enix. This is from Funimation. But I use this example all the time because, number one, it makes the most annoying people seethe every time I bring it up. And second of all, it's just like the epitome of English localization, right? You have a complete and utter mistranslation.
I love this anime, by the way.
Random insertions.
I found it randomly before it got
like political
around
agenda.
the time it came out, and I love it.
It's an absolute mess. Now, when it comes to Square Enix, they're also focusing on their localization team, and they're making a lot of layoffs, including laying off the localization project manager right here named Yusuke Haraguchi. And this is a part, again, of a major round of layoffs where they're trying to restructure their...
I wonder why they're doing this now, right? That's just... I wonder if there's, like, contracts that, like, finally expired where they're now able to do this. I mean, there has been, like, a shift in the gaming industry, but not as big as the one that you might think, or at least I don't think so. Mind you, I'm the only one. I've never felt problems with the gaming industry because I play games basically from all over Asia, right? I'm a chat. You know what? Hassan Pickle said it as in a way that I don't think sounded authentic, but I'm being completely real when I say I'm in a very Chinese time in my life right now, right? Let's say Honkai Star Rail, Honkai Impact 3rd, Genshin Impact, Zelda Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, Punishing Grey Raven. There's probably a lot more than that. I think Stella Sora's Chinese, question mark? That could be wrong. Uma Musume's no, that's Japanese. I think CZN is Korean. But, Marvel Rivals. Do It Night Abyss? Maybe? I think Do It Night Abyss. Fate Trigger. Etheria Restart. And it just goes on and on and on. There's a lot of games that I have played or play that are from Chinese publishers. Hey, I'm just saying I like what they're doing. They're doing very, very well.
Global focus. They're overseas focus. And they have specifically mentioned that in the past year or two, there's been some disappointments, and they're trying to reassure their shareholders that they're going to do something different and improve their operational efficiency. Now, again, with the localization focus, we showed some examples from other companies, but let's focus on Square Enix. And why a lot of people are saying,
Dragon Quest,
you reap what you sow, nobody
HD
feels sorry for you
remake.
that you're doing these layoffs. And some people who are hopeful are saying, well, maybe they're learning, but we'll have to wait and see. But they've been in like a dozen localization controversies over the past couple of years. In fact, they came out and confirmed something a lot of people were already suspecting, and that is the fact that
I don't understand what a global audience is. Has anyone ever figured out what a global audience is, or like a modern audience is? Has anyone ever figured that out? I don't. I feel like you should always through very from the for the very start confirmed games subjected to thorough ethical reviews tailored to different regions. I feel like they don't understand that we want their games. Make a game that you think would do well in your home region of Japan, because if it does well there, we probably want it. Right? All the animes that are popular in Japan are popular here, untouched. So would it not go to? Does it not make more sense if you're gonna make a game, make it for Japan with the Japanese, with how you would have done it anyways if it was just made for strictly Japan, and then just let the chips fall where they may. You know what I'm saying? Uma Musume was not touched, right? And this is the one again, chat. I'm a gambling man, chat. Uma Musume was not touched when it came over here, and it probably had one of the biggest Western launch since like Genshin Impact. It had a better Western launch than Wuthering Waves. It had a better Steam launch than Wuthering Waves. I think Wuthering Waves peaked at like 20. To this day, I think it still is only peaked at 20K. Wuthering Waves has been, I think, at the most like 40K. And it is not touched. It is straight Uma Musume from there to here. Like you don't have to do this, bro. We love your game. People, I think Pippa played Uma Musume on JP before they played it here. Before she played it here, like people play it over there with your servers. I mean, I kind of honestly would if I could read Japanese, because it's like I think they have like Still in Love, and I think they're gonna have Forever Young coming out soon. So like it's gonna take forever for us to get it. So, I wouldn't mind playing on JP servers, but it's just. Why don't tailor to us? We're coming to you.
This company has confirmed
it's so
that
obnoxious,
games
bro.
that they're developing in Japan are made with a focus on a global audience. Just like the modern audience, hearing the global audience is the biggest red flag ever. If you hear that, you should perk your ears up and know there's probably some weird stuff going on.
It's like that. It's like that time Virgil said.
In terms of localizations,
now is our time to rule. What did you just say?
Yeah, they want to go through thorough ethical reviews tailored to different regions. Meaning they're going to tailor their content to the delicate sensibilities of a bunch of screechers from the Western market who do not represent the whole. And they faced a big round of controversy.
Oh, my dress up, darling. I think this is a good one. Chat, fun fact. Do you guys want to know what my favorite anime is? My favorite standalone anime, right? Not my favorite, what's the word I'm looking for? Not my favorite series. My favorite standalone anime is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. If you guys want to know what my favorite series is, it is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Square Enix removes black bar censorship from Manga Up. Wait, is that good?
A few years back, when their Manga Up app was facing, criticism for randomly yeeting black bars everywhere. Now, I know censorship in Japan is a big issue in terms of the black bars and all that stuff, but this stuff is ridiculous. Like, looking at this.
What the hell?
By the way, this is their censor, not mine, and this is a fully clothed anime girl, okay? We also have examples like this from My Dress Up Darling, where they're censoring cleavage, and then you have examples like this from Soul Eater, where again,
this has to be a crime. Are you telling me they put black bars over her honkers? Chat, let the honkers go free. This would destroy anime if you did something like this.
And they're censoring a fully clothed anime girl. They even censored aspects of Full Metal Alchemist.
What? For what? Notable offerings currently in pursuit. Oh, it doesn't say. What would they censor? Wait, I'm confused. Lust? Maybe? No, she's fully clothed the entire time. I'm trying to think. Who is even like suggestive? The only person I can think of is from one single scene, and it's when Winry's pulling her shirt up, and you can kind of see her under cleavage, and it's like that's it. I can't think of anybody else. Not even Lust has insanely lewd scenes. There's a scene where they close up on her boobs, but she's fully clothed.
Like, are you kidding me? Of all the things,
what
it just goes to show you how shameless they get. But
I'm so
gets
lost.
Worse. They also faced about a year ago a big
I remember
controversy
this.
because they were adding censorship
for Dragon
of
Quest.
Akira Toriyama's original warrior design for
God rest his soul.
Dragon Quest 3's
The greatest
remake.
We missed you. We missed you,
they
Toriyama.
added shorts onto her because apparently the legendary and now late Akira Toriyama needed to be scaled back by Square Enix.
I feel like they removed some of her muscle too,
because the Western audience just couldn't handle it. In fact, they also had another round of controversy.
This is something I expect in Yu-Gi-Oh. You know what I'm saying? Has anyone actually watched the original Yu-Gi-Oh? Right? Like, Aki Izayoi. No, is it Aki? Anyways, yeah. She is... I looked at both of them, by the way, right? I looked at some of the 5Ds. That's probably her bra size. But, you know, I looked at... 5Ds and then the original, because I was watching the original 5Ds because I really, really like Yusei's theme. And the amount that is censored is insane. I mean, I get it, right? Here it's a kid's show. Over there, I think it's a shonen, so they're a lot more... If you ever watch the original 5Ds, there is some... It gets so dark so fast. But I love it. I love Yusei. I still think Judai is probably the better duelist, but, you know, statistically, I'm probably wrong. Like, Yusei rarely loses. But yeah, this is like the censorship you'd see like in like Yu-Gi-Oh, like a four kids kind of censorship.
We're censoring outfits of Tifa from Final Fantasy, and of course, people on Twitter were like, "Oh, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? It's a small change." As I always say, if it's not a big deal,
then why do it?
Why did you censor it? And why are you supporting censorship?
It makes sense,
like,
bro.
if you don't like what you're seeing, then
like,
don't.
It really is censorship. Like, in more, like, I mean, obviously, right? But, like, more so, like, the negative censorship. Like, I don't know why you're taking away the original design of a character, right? It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, obviously, right? I like these kind of... these things not censored, but yeah, I don't get it.
Play the game. It's like literally that simple. But anyways, they also censored male character designs, so they're not discriminating. They're censoring all
Put away those hips, you whore. Sorry,
genders in their pursuits here at Square Enix, and it really lines up with the sort of things that
here's this prick
localizers like Katrina. If you recognize this profile,
I don't even. This is like the first person I found that I really, really disliked from localizers, and man, hearing when they get work is like, it's like you just hear like the worst person you know is getting a job. It's like, God damn it, man. Why are they still here? Get them out of here. I still don't know how they get work when everyone dislikes them. Everyone dislikes this person, and they somehow... Oh, of course, Blue Sky. I shouldn't even be surprised, but it's like, I hate these people.
It's like the Batman signal of the worst takes you're ever going to see. They've gone private on Twitter over the last year or two. This is a localization producer, not from Square Enix, but someone who's very involved in the industry, who has said a lot and basically gone mask off and shared some quotes where they basically said, you know, we're going to control what the Western market gets. We are the ones
And I don't understand how you're able to say that and still find work, right? I mean, it's like, luckily we've had this, like, we've had problems with bad actors in Genshin Impact, right? We've gotten rid of most of them. A lot of the original voice cast has pretty much been recasted, unless there are people who didn't try and ruin the product, right? But everyone who has, like, they were withholding voice casting and stuff like that for people for things that weren't even real, right? They were trying to do it for a strike that didn't involve them. They just wanted better pay. And it's like, how do people like this stay employed? I don't understand. I can't cost my company money and stay employed. Like, you just can't.
decide what's appropriate and what's not appropriate.
For example, like with game localization, you're usually doing it. There's
She looks like how I expect. I'm not gonna lie.
going to be an English dub. None of the Japanese source material is going to be available to the player. So you can get a lot more creative with it. You can, you know, adjust the cultural interpretations as you need to. At some cases, you can even contact the developer and be like, hey, I want to change this little visual aspect so it works better with our culture. So you have a little bit more.
What would need to change to work with our culture?
Control over what the player is going to experience as a localizer. However, when you're working with video content, especially animated content, you know, with animation, you can do so many fantastical things. Like you can have crazy stuff popping in and out. You can have like almost like a music video as quality where there's like abstract things happening in the background, or they zoom in on an object that really shouldn't exist. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do with animation, but it's on screen and you can't change that. So when it comes to stuff like cultural reference,
Good.
there's nothing much that I can do to change that.
Yeah, in case, again, if you forgot who this person is, they're the one who is inserting, like, Quirk Chungus Reddit humor.
Quirk Bungus?
Like, these sorts of screen caps here and censoring things.
Oh, no, not the Quirk Bungus. Doing some of my finest localization work in an anime about a high school corgi. Any other time I'd love to be all up in her dress. What? What the hell? I'm sorry I yeeted you, okay? I feel like, you know what's really funny? I feel like I'm the only person who hates seeing this in Zenless Zone Zero. Like, oh yeah, there's a scene with, if anyone knows, if anyone's played Zenless Zone Zero, there's a scene with, I think if you play Belle, she'll say that rat Thyron has that Riz. I almost uninstalled the English version. I almost just switched straight to Chinese and said, you know what? China won't let me down. I hate this. I hate everything about it. And then, you know, that you have some. Luckily, it's very, very minimal, but it takes me out of it every time. Like when Belle says, bruh, I'm just like, okay, bro. Okay. All right. Okay.
Adding in things that are just cringe and change the meaning of scenes and,
Not the
yeah,
Quirk
they've gotten
Bungus.
clowned on, but it didn't affect their career because, of course, it didn't. Back in September, they announced that they've been added to a major video game company and has been moving to Tokyo, and they're going to be the localization director.
Japan won't change for you. Go ahead.
There's no consequences for anything at this point. Like you can mess up. You can generate so much negative PR for these companies, and yet they'll keep hiring you in the same position, too, as a localization director. It reminds me a lot of Sweet Baby Inc., right? Same stuff. It's like these companies just keep working with these goofballs, even though to anyone who's looking at this objectively, they know this is a bad PR move, but it happened again. So let's get back to Square Enix. I went on a bit of a tangent there, but you understand why I'm doing that. I'm showing the localization scene and the disastrous state of affairs going on over there. But it's not just like censorship. It's just like sloppiness like this, where
you a vaquero?
These translations, like
why did it change to Spanish? You a vaquero? That means like cowboy in Spanish.
It's just like sloppiness like this where you can see
You're a vaquero. All right. No need to get so angry. You may rest assured that you may rest assured that I will not. It is a good, strong name worthy of pride. You're letting your pretty face go to waste, but pride will lead you astray if you let it in. Where's the original text? What? Where the hell is the original text?
these translations, like you can pause and read for yourself. Like this is just goofy. In fact, this is just lazy. And you can see the one-to-one translation versus the localization. I mean, you're talking about two completely different scenes here. But again, back to the layoffs.
Square Phoenix.
There was, of course, the localization project manager who was laid off as a result. And you can read again through their description. And if you look at their bio, they've been a part of many different Final Fantasy projects, a lot of big
Trials of Mana. I think that's a really good one, right? Visions of Mana. I think the Mana series is actually a very, very good series. Chrono Cross. Left Alive. I think I've heard of Left Alive. Oninaki. I think I've heard of that, but I'm not entirely sure. The Final Fantasy games. I think these are the only ones I know.
Franchises for Square Enix, and they describe their own job as basically saying that they want to create quality game that overseas users will not recognize as a Japanese game.
What? So you want to get rid of exactly why we come to these games. We come to a Japanese game to have the Japanese style of a game. And you're now telling me, yeah, we want this to not be Japanese in any way, shape, or form. Bro, you're trolling. You are trolling in real time. I don't understand. I'm glad you got fired. I'm not going to lie. You are trolling in real time, brother. You hustling backwards. That's what that is.
Read that again. The localization division is to create quality games.
Also, settle down. You're not creating a game. You're localizing and making, you're translating. You are not making a game. The game is already made when it gets to you. You just change the funny letters around. Calm down, bro. Your ass is not making a game. You like, it's like if you tell someone, yeah, I work at a Fortune 500 company, and you're the janitor. Man, if you don't sit your ass down.
That overseas users will not recognize as a Japanese game.
Oh, out of here.
What? That is the reason why Japanese games became so popular. Because they're not like overseas products. Because they are different.
Man, I'm gonna open up I'm gonna open up a deli and sell nothing but tofu.
This is the heart of the issue. That these companies have been tricked into believing they need to conform their standards to a global audience, to a Western audience, and they're losing their identity in the process. They are trying to appeal to everyone, and in the process,
I think it is just it might just be the unfortunate fact that they need to have a lot of the Western sales, which really sucks. Like, I think a perfect example of people who don't really need that is, obviously, you know, I come back to this a lot, is the Chinese mobile market, right? If you look at Love and Deep Space, it made, I think last month, it made about $44 million. You know, so if someone screeches on Twitter, they'll never know. Do you know why? Because if Love and Deep Space made $44 million, I think only $2 million came from global, right? They don't really need to rely on us, which is why, like, if anybody knows of the Genshin Impact controversy when it came to Natlan and people's skin color, there's a reason why they just ignored us, because if we don't pay, and they just got like 100,000, like imagine 100,000 people not playing your game for like Call of Duty, the game would be, they're gonna feel it. 100,000 people not playing Genshin Impact, that's just like probably like an hour to them. Like that's probably just a shift in time. There's like, I think it was confirmed, like 33 million people play Genshin Impact. So these games don't really need to rely on us. But I think the problem with the Japanese games is I feel like they do kind of have to rely on us. Not their mobile games, mind you, because Umusume made like $4 billion without us. That was before it came to global. But I think the AAA market is kind of different.
They're appealing to no one. And that's why there's so much negativity surrounding localization and Western adaptations of various Japanese products. And it's just absolutely crazy. And they say, like, point blank, taking into account overseas cultures and trends, and in some cases, we even consult with the development team to change the character appearances and game content. Nobody wants this. That's like less than 1% of Twitter users who are screechers and complain about anything that looks halfway anime styled. They're not going to buy your game.
Maybe Twitter is a mistake. Chat, I'll see y'all on Weibo.
Games anyways. So stop.
I'll see you guys on Red Note. We'll go there.
It's a losing battle. It's a waste of your time, and it's going to hurt your company. And like I said, I do hope that
Chat, are we just going to start posting on Douyin?
Start to wake up. That these companies, they're not just doing this because they're finding out or they're reaping what they have sown. Maybe they're saying, yeah, we need to make major changes. And it starts with the localizations.
Yeah.
I know. I'm huffing that copium. I'm huffing the hopium.
I'm huffing.
Who knows? But that could be something. But that wasn't the only layoff. We've seen multiple major positions, but also the senior HR generalist who worked at Square Enix for about 4 years was also laid off, who was responsible for implementing DEI initiatives to support inclusive programming, cultural initiatives, and belonging strategies. Yup. Word salad, ladies and gentlemen.
You know how you get a good You know how you get a good environment is you tell people they don't belong. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a feast or famine. They either make it or they don't. They ain't get nothing guaranteed. That'll light a fire under some people, and then we'll get to the heart of the problem. Whoever's not putting in that work, that bottom 2%, they get fired. Send them out. We'll see who's we'll see if they're still slacking when they do that.
This is the nonsense that for many years was strictly in the Western market, and it is flourishing in Japan at this moment.
That's such a shame.
This stuff is long since been initiated over there, and it's a real problem. And
sounds
again,
like a problem.
Hopefully these companies wake up and realize people hate this stuff.
Yeah, we hate the Corkbungus.
The actual target audience does not want to see this stuff, and including it and enforcing it so hard is not in their best interest. And here's another person resigning in a role like that. So at this point, it's like, where do we go from here? I guess we have to sit back and wait for the results.
I like how it's a Western staff.
Actions will speak better than words. But yeah, these rounds.
Western Sheep Pub. Wasn't this game dog? Was it Forspoken? Wasn't that game insanely dog? I think the only one I'm really surprised about is I think they fired someone who made Life is Edgy, which it's kind of whatever. I never took the only thing about that game is I watched Ray play it, and Ray is so funny. I love watching him play it, but it's like it's not a great game. I think it's just funny to watch people play it.
Of layoffs, it's pretty interesting to see such a big focus being on the localizers and the people promoting DEI and related initiatives in the company. Hopefully something good comes out of this. To see Square Enix like continue to roll down this hill for the last 5 years, it's sad to see, but hopefully they turn things around and some good changes are implemented as a result of these layoffs. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Oh, chat. I think I definitely think that the gaming industry is going to be healing in a sort of way, right? Like the AAA, it might even be to the point where AAA gaming might just fall apart, which honestly is not that big of a deal because of how much indie and AA games are just thriving right now, right? You have people making games like Schedule One or whatever other games that just popped off, right? Arc Raiders is just popping off everywhere, and it's only like a $40 game, right? I think this change is gonna make these people either have to get their shit together, or they just die, and that's fine, because I'd rather people who deserve recognition get recognized for the games that they make, not people who just want to check boxes and are just making everything so corporate and not doing it for the love of the game, right? But we'll see how that goes, chat. Let me know you guys feel. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you gamers in the next one. Bye.